I am Garrett Weimer, and thanks for joining us here on this Tuesday morning, live on Fox35Orlando.com, the Fox 35 News app, Fox Local, and today we're also streaming live on Facebook and on YouTube, so thanks for joining us however you are watching us. Over this next hour, we have a lot of news to get to, but we begin by once again tracking the tropics. Meteorologist Jessica Dobson joins us now. And Jess, when you were here yesterday, that blob behind you was at only 40%, so a pretty significant jump between yesterday and today in those 24 hours.
Yeah, that's right. And this is because we're growing a lot more confident that an area of low pressure is going to form and likely a tropical depression, over the next couple of days, and maybe even a tropical storm this weekend. So this is going to be for areas in the Southwest Caribbean. Now, since we don't have any specific area of low pressure to track yet, that means a lot of the forecast from here on out is just going to be more so speculation, and you kind of have to take everything with a grain of salt that we can expect a lot of changes. And also we have to keep in mind it's pretty unusual for us to see this much activity still so late in the game in terms of hurricane season, because it does end November 30th and the environment is just not nearly as ripe for development. That being said, the Caribbean waters where this is going to be developing, they are very warm still. The Gulf, not so much. So that could work in our favor. But still, that being said, we're going to watch this very closely just in case. But here's what you need to know so far. This is going to be what potentially is future Sara. So we're kind of just in watching mode right now, watching for what's developing next and if and when we get that area of low pressure formed. The forecast cone will likely come later this week, either when we get the potential tropical cyclone issue from the National Hurricane Center or if it becomes a tropical depression or tropical storm. And then in terms of actionable things to do, so that means things like preparing your house, stocking up on groceries, supplies, things like that. It's just a little too early to do that just yet. So kind of just hold your horses a little bit before we get going in terms of doing anything to prepare, just because we're at least 9 to 10 days out from anything that could possibly bring impacts if it does. So just one of the takeaways in terms of the system. Next name on the list, though, again, is Sara. That is after Rafael, which did make it to major hurricane strength in the Gulf, but it did not make landfall officially in the United States. It did in Cuba, though. So in terms of our weather headlines here at home, outside of the tropics, still going to be summer like today. Beautiful weather, though, arrives tomorrow. It's going to be such a nice end to the week. And of course, we're still going to be watching this disturbance in the Caribbean, of course, as well. But really what we're focusing on here at home for now is just kind of enjoying the nice stretch that we're going to have, the positive of the forecast, because today it's going to be really beautiful if you're heading out to, say, some of the local beaches. 80 in Satellite Beach through the 11 o'clock hour, lunchtime up to 81 degrees by about 1 o'clock. And then through the 4 o'clock hour, we'll make it to around 82 degrees. We do, though, have a high risk for rip currents, and they're really urging people, local officials are, to stay out of the water if possible, even if you are a strong swimmer. Swim in groups if you're going to get into the water, and also swim near a lifeguard stand just to make sure you're playing it safe, because they're really urging people that these are dangerous waters and surf is going to be pretty rough today. Just a couple of things to keep in mind. Otherwise, temperatures are going to stay above normal. Our average high is around 79 degrees. We're going to be at 86 today in Orlando. Low 80s for Flagler and Volusia counties, 81 in Palm Coast, 81 as well in Daytona Beach, and 82 in New Smyrna. Closer to Brevard County will be near the mid 80s, 84 for Titusville and 83 for Cocoa Beach. But most of our inland areas are going to be closer to the mid to upper 80s versus the lower 80s. That being said, we do have a couple of very isolated shower chances. Similar to yesterday, it hardly rained at all yesterday, and that's going to be kind of what we're expecting today. A couple of coastal showers can't be ruled out, especially with this easterly flow we have. So you'll notice that 20% chance it's going to be mostly for the beaches. A couple of these could try to creep further inland, but that'll be something we keep a close eye on. Otherwise, in terms of this next big cool down we have on the way, we actually have a couple of reinforcing shots of cooler air on the way. And these are going to come in the form of fronts. One of those is going to arrive as we head closer towards around Thursday night. That will give way to such a nice stretch for this weekend. This weekend really couldn't be a whole lot better. It's going to be pleasant, dry, not as humid. The dew points are going to be lower. Just all good news on all fronts in terms of the weekend forecast. So 77 for our high on Saturday, 79 on Sunday. And what this doesn't show is the fact that we'll be throughout the overnight hours, I should say, we'll be in the 50s. So mid to upper 50s, right. Mid to upper 50s at that, but we will take it. But when it comes to the 7-day forecast, just a little breezy, a spotty shower chance with that easterly flow through about Thursday, and then the upper 70s expected pretty much all the way from Friday into the weekend, maybe a small warm up for Monday. But looking out ahead, I would say closer towards about middle parts of next week, we could see temperatures actually fall down into the low 50s, maybe the 40s for some spots. We're starting to get some signals of that. So it's still a little ways out, but it'll be exciting to talk about that and maybe get out the coat again.
yeah. I was gonna say, definitely now is the time to prepare. You told us to hold off on on hurricane or tropical storm preparations, but we do need to prepare for that fall weather and grab those jackets out of the closet wherever you put it. I think mine might be in storage. I'm not sure what I did with it when I moved down here, so I'm gonna have to find it.
Mine's somewhere, I think, deep within my closet in a box probably still, but yeah, when it comes to the forecast with the tropics, just stay close to the forecast. There's nothing imminent either just yet. There's nothing concerning, but we will keep you posted if there is. So yeah, maybe just get the coat out in the meantime.
All right, Fox 35 Storm Team Meteorologist Jessica Dobson, we appreciate it.